Jim Duggan was, I think it was like, what, about 50 years old, and he still had groupies. It was ridiculous. It was crazy. It was awesome.
Hey, do your job.
Marcos here for FightHubTV.com, standing here in Lake Forest, California with Krzysztof Soszynski. Hey Krzysztof, how are you doing today? Tell me, how are things going? I know you're 20 days out, I think, from your fight. 12 days out, 2 weeks out from your fight. How are you feeling?
You know, feeling fantastic. You know, these last 2 weeks, it's all about just maintaining what I have. You know, making sure I'm injury free and making that weight cut. And, you know, so I got 12 days to go, and just looking forward to these last few days of training.
Tell me now, your opponent, Goran Reljic, you know, he dropped down in weight, and now he's moving back up. You know, there was a lot of hype behind him at one point, and he got injured. Tell me, what are you preparing for this opponent? What are some things you've been working on?
You know, the most important part about Goran Reljic is that, and the biggest part is that he's desperate. You know, he's 0-2 his last 2 fights. He has to win this fight. So he's going to probably go in there and pull out all the stops. I have to be ready for everything. You know, I have a feeling it's going to be kind of a similar fight to the Stephan Bonner fight, where Bonner's going to take everything, and he's going to keep coming at me like he came back at me. And I have a feeling the same was going to happen with Goran Reljic. He's going to keep coming, keep putting that pressure on, and I have to be ready. Conditioning is very important in this fight. I worked my butt off for these last 14 weeks now of training to get my conditioning to where it is right now, and it's great. I feel like I'm going to be able to push for 15 minutes straight and give him everything I have.
How do you handle having such a long training camp like that? Do you ever, like, you know, mentally, does it ever like, oh man, just the same repetitive thing over and over again?
Yes and no. You know, for me, the long camps are better because I find I can go really slow at the start. You know what I mean? I don't have to start my camp with 8 weeks out or 6 weeks out like a lot of fighters do, and already have to go at 70 or 80% max. You know, I can start at 20%, 30%, and just work my way up. And each week make it harder and harder and harder. And just in case I get injured, I have plenty of time during my camp where I can rest up.
When I stepped inside of here, I saw Mark Munoz outside in the gym, and I saw Babalu as well. Are those two guys been working with you to prepare for this fight?
Yeah, absolutely. Mark, Babalu, Pat Cummings, who's getting his career started in Strikeforce right away, Rafael Davis, Jay Silva. Then we go over to Rafael Cordero's place, King's MMA, and train with those guys over there. Fabricio Verdum is over there. Then we have the option of going to Black House and training with Anderson Silva and his boys, Machida, over there. So, I mean, right now I'm in the mecca of MMA right now. I'm surrounded by great fighters, great wrestlers. On top of that, I got great coaching. Ryan Parsons is here all the time training with us. I got Rafael Cordero. I also have Ed Buckley, my striking coach. I'm surrounded with great fighters and great trainers, and that's why I'm so happy and just blessed with the opportunity that I have here.
What did you learn from your last fight that you had, and what are you going to do to carry it over into this fight?
The most important thing I learned is never let my opponent back in the fight. You know what I mean? With Stephan Bonner in the last fight, I had him beat in that first round. He came up to me after in the locker room and said, hey, for 45 seconds there, I didn't even know where I was. I just kind of let him get back into it. I let him hang on to me, let him recuperate, and let him come back at me. And that's one thing I can't do anymore in any of my fights. If I have somebody hurt, I have to finish him. And it's been one of the things I've been really focusing hard on is seeing when somebody's hurt, making sure that I jump on him right away and finish him.
With Goran, if he loses this fight, pretty much, you know, you might be the one to give him his pink slip, because that would be three losses in a row. In the UFC, it seems when you lose 3 in a row, they cut you.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's not something on my mind at all. You know, I just want to go in and have a great fight. I feel like you know, I'm one of those guys who always puts in a great effort, a great performance for the fans of the UFC and the UFC. And you know, I just like to go in there and bang it out and see what happens. And so hey, if I happen to get the W and it happens that he has to get the pink slip, well, that's the way it's going to be. You know what I mean? It's, you know, I'm going in there to win. I'm going in there to bang, and we'll see what happens.
If you could make a prediction of this fight, and if you, I guess this could be like a showcase fight for you, how would you like it to end up, and how would you like it to end up?
You know, well, obviously a great high kick KO would be great, but realistically speaking, I see this being a bloody, messy fight. I see us grinding it out for 15 minutes. I see us a lot of back and forth action. I think Goran's going to come out and throw a lot of his high left kicks that he has. I see myself throwing a lot of punches, a lot of power shots down the middle. I see him being cut open. I see myself being bloodied and bruised. And I see us actually smiling at each other at the end of the fight and giving each other a great hug for a great war. So, you know what I mean? I hope that's what happens. And, you know, and may the best man win.
Now, when you were saying that, you were smiling, like you're looking forward to getting hit and cut up and bloodied up.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, this is, you know, all the hard work that I put in here. You know, I want to go out there and showcase it. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. It'd be great to have a 1-minute fight and a quick knockout and go home and relax for the next few months. But realistically speaking, everybody's really good in the UFC. And you know, after my last few fights with Stephan Bonnar, I had wars. You know, I want to continue on that path. Those were 2 fun fights that I had with Stephan Bonnar. I smiled all the way through them. Even after I got finished in a second fight, I got up and I smiled. You know, it was a great fight. We got a nice bonus out of the deal as well. You know, I like those kind of fights. They're entertaining for the UFC. They're entertaining for the fans of the UFC, and I get my bonus too. But you know, if it happens that hey, maybe you know I gotta get TKO or I submit him or something, hey, it happens. But I like those messy, brutal fights. This is Krzysztof Soszynski. Tune in to FightHubTV.com for all the latest interviews with myself and a bunch of other fighters.